Sean, what is industrial immersive?
Industrial Immersive is a community that connects the industrial, energy, engineering, and construction sectors. And really, what we're doing is talking to the professionals from the end users, the integrators, as well as the manufacturers or solution providers in order to help them understand where they're making investments, strategy and tactical decisions, and really how to build, scale, and execute in the areas around spatial computing and immersive tech for those sectors.
Now, this will be your 7th year running the event in Houston. So, what are the key themes this year?
So, if you think about it, Kevin, one of the things that makes Industrial Immersive unique is we actually have 4 communities that come together under Industrial Immersive. Each one has its own theme. So, if I can go through them pretty quickly with you, the Industrial XR Forum is immersive experiences for industry. The Digital Twin Forum is digital twins beyond the hype. Industrial AI Nexus is enabling industrial AI agents and Gen AI. And last and never least is Industrial Reality Capture, which is about industrial reality capture in action deployments. So those are kind of the 4 themes, each being unique to its respective area that it's covering.
Now, I'm guessing AI, generative AI, will be a common theme across most of them?
I think so. I mean, we certainly saw it crop up a couple of years ago initially. Last year, I think the hype train was in full motion, and we saw, I don't think there were many presentations that didn't have AI somewhere in them, regardless of whether it was digital twin or reality capture or XR. So I think we're going to see quite a bit. I think the industrial AI agents is a little bit of a curve that's, we're starting to see a further deployment as to how Gen AI is being used and utilized in the energy, engineering, industrial sectors. And I think that's something we're going to see. And I think we're going to be talking a lot more about those deployments and versus the just overall strategy or what is aspects of AI and Gen AI.
Now, I suppose, there's so many conferences and competing events for people's time. May I ask, with so many similar things going on, what sets you apart?
Sure. And the way we look at it is each organization, each community, each event has its reason for being. And, there's a lot of events that might be considered ecosystem events that bring together, some are multi-sector, which bring together areas like medical or gaming. For us, I think there's 2 things that make us unique and well worth someone's time. First of all is our focus, right, in the industrial sector. So we're bringing together people from one particular area, even though it's quite broad underneath with power and oil and gas and maritime and heavy manufacturing, construction, so many subsectors, but they're all industrial. So these people have common needs. They operate heavy assets from around the world that are very vital. So I think that's A. B is, back to kind of the themes we were talking about, it's 4 different communities that are converging under Industrial Immersive. So we have XR, digital twin, reality capture, and AI. So the advantage for someone spending time with us is they're getting to understand about all of those areas, and they all do impact one another when you're looking at digitalization, innovation, the efficiencies people are trying to gain in these industries with spatial computing. So that's, I think, one of the key reasons why Industrial Immersive it should be a must attend for people in that sector.
And I suppose going back to the fact that this is the 7th year you're running it, you're going bigger and better every year. People keep coming back because obviously they are getting value from this year on year.
Yeah, we are definitely, I would say, one of those events that is a lot more how-to without being overly technical. So what we like to say is we're tactical, not technical. So what we try to do is stay out of the policy or the strategic or a lot of the big picture items and really focus down as to actual deployments. How are people actually overcoming obstacles or hurdles? How are they aligning some of these technologies with their business ROI or business reasons to actually deploy them. So we actually are tying it back to the end users, and I think that makes our event something that's kind of unique and why it's worthwhile and people do come back.
Well, as you mentioned, the four pillars or the themes across the event, they're all standalone, big, hairy problems to go fix and solve. But by joining them all together, that's where you get to that, fully immersive, call it the industrial metaverse, call it Industry 4.0, call it whatever you want to call it. But kind of that's where we're headed because you need all of those pieces together. Now, this will be my first time there. We've known each other for a good few years, but it'll be my first time there, and I'm delighted I'll be engaged in the digital twin track with you guys.
We're really excited to have you sharing your expertise and having you here in Houston for the event, Kevin.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Now, on your own personal level, this is your 7th time going through this. What are you looking forward to?
Sure. Well, as we all know, as everyone in the industry, is they evolve quickly. Faster than most people think. So every year is kind of fresh, as far as it's never, difficult to have brand new content, use cases. But for me, I think there's 2 areas that I'm very excited about. One is in the area that you're going to be sharing about and working with us, and digital twins. I think, when you look at that theme of, beyond the hype, I honestly think we're going to see a lot of things that are happening with digital twins because there've been a lot more deployments. And I think it's going to be interesting to talk about those and talk about, a little bit better, I think, focus versus maybe some of the early, energy behind it that maybe was diffused. So I think it's going to be more pinpoint, and I'm excited about that. And then I'd say the same thing for AI. These industrial AI agents, I think, are very comprehensive in what they're able to do, taking Gen AI another step forward. And once again, actual deployments, getting past the hype. I'm excited about that. Within the XR, I really am excited to see what some people are doing. I think the hardware is evolving very quickly into the AR area, being now somewhat dominant outside in the field. And so I'm very excited to see more as far as what the evolutions have been from some of the other areas, things that were dominant a year or 2 ago in the hardware space that may be on their way out. So I think that's exciting to see what's coming in and what's going out.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to, as you say, you have a very well-established community there with the different themes and the people, the practical side of things on how to get stuff done. So I'd be very curious to see what their take, as you say, technology is evolving at such a pace that the compute, that we're really going to see a revolution of change in the edge compute with the amount of AI at the edge and small language models and. But again, I kind of come at this stuff and look at the art of the possible. So sitting down with the people who actually make the stuff work and find out what works, what doesn't. I think that's a key. That's something I'm looking forward to. It's easy to talk about, look at all the cool stuff you could do. But hearing from people who well, this is actually what we could do and this is how we did it. That's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, it actually goes back to our overall event theme, which is kind of our reason for being, where digital and reality connect. So we're talking with the digital leaders who are at that executive level, right, at corporate, whose job is touching base on all the innovation and making sure the technology is being adopted as rapidly as possible. But that's got to happen at the actual plants, right, at the mines, at the face, the construction projects. And that's in the field. And that's where the reality is, right? So that's why we say digital and reality. And that's what I think is exciting about industrial immersive, because you actually are seeing more about the deployments. It's not just about the theoretical or the what ifs.
I know it's going to be a pretty interesting week. So the 3rd and 4th of March in Houston. Sean, we'll see you there, man.
Sounds great, Kevin. Appreciate it. Cheers.